Hi, welcome to Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. I'm Sonika and the recipe that I've got for you today is a very interesting one. So why is this so interesting? Because we're making an all-time favorite and we're putting a sweet spin to it. So let's quickly take a look at the ingredients to make dessert nachos. Maize flour, refined flour, chopped dark chocolate, castor sugar, cocoa powder, cinnamon powder, salt, dark chocolate cookies. So to start preparing this, I'm going to take about 1 cup of refined flour for the dough. So this is 1 cup of refined flour. Now to this, I'm going to add a little more than a cup of maize flour. To this, let's add in a pinch of salt. We are making dessert nachos, but salt is necessary for this dough. And I'm going to add some cocoa powder because these are chocolate nachos. So a little bit of cocoa powder. And now I'm going to just mix this well. I'm going to add some water and knead this into a nice firm dough. So I've kneaded this into a nice dough and it's got a nice brown color because of the cocoa powder that we added. Now I'm going to knead this into a nice thin roti or a thin disc. So I'm going to dust the worktop with some flour. And I'm going to knead this out into a nice thin flat chapati. So now I've rolled out the dough into these circles and now I'm going to use a plate to cut them into a perfect circle. And now I'm going to use a pizza cutter to cut these into nice wedges. So this is what my nachos are going to look like, and we're going to be baking these nachos and not frying them. So now I'm going to dog these with a fork or just prick it with a fork so that they bake well, become nice and crisp and they don't puff up while baking. And I'm going to prepare some more nachos in a very similar manner. So now that I've cut all my nachos into beautiful shapes or triangles, I'm going to start baking them. For that, we're going to just lightly grease a baking tray with some oil. And I'm going to place our nachos on this. And now in these go into a preheated oven and we're going to bake them at 180 degrees Celsius for about 8 to 10 minutes or till they go nice and crisp. So now while these chips are still hot, I'm going to transfer them into a bowl. And since we're making sweet nachos, I'm going to dust this with some icing sugar. I'm just going to take a spoon and add a little bit of icing sugar over this. And I'm also going to add some cinnamon powder. And I'm just going to lightly toss these up. I'm going to keep these aside for a bit till we can start assembling this dish together. So we're going to wait till our nachos cool down slightly and they go nice and crisp. In the meanwhile, I'm going to melt some chocolate in a microwave. While our chocolate is melting, we're going to stack these nachos onto a plate. And our chocolate is nice and melted. I'm going to temper the chocolate now. So mix it really well so that there are no lumps and the chocolate is nice and liquidy. So before adding the chocolate, I've got some cookies with me which I'm just going to crush and sprinkle over this. So traditional nachos have got cheese, but this we're making dessert nachos, so we're going to be using some amazing chocolate sauce. So I'm just going to drizzle some of this over this. Finally, I'm going to add some colorful sprinkles over this. You could use anything else that you want. You can add marshmallows or you can add fruits, you can add berries. Last but not the least, I'm going to add some icing sugar and cinnamon powder for a dusting. I'm just going to mix both of them in this and a very light dusting of this. So here it is, dessert nachos, a sweet twist to the all-time favorite nachos. Make sure you try this recipe because it is a fabulous one. Hi, I'm Sonika and you're watching me on Sanjeev Kapoor Khazana. If you like the videos that we're doing on our channel and if you are learning something from them, make sure you do subscribe to the channel.